You know that feeling when you have an idea that's so good you think, hey, this could actually be a business? Well, today we're going to break down the two simplest, most common ways to get that idea off the ground: going it alone as a sole proprietor or teaming up in a partnership. Let's dig in and see which one might be the right first step for you.
So you've got it, that spark, that $1 million idea that just might change everything. But what's the next step? How do you actually turn it into a real thing? This isn't just about paperwork, it's about building the foundation for your entire journey as a founder. And we're going to start with the most direct route there is. For so many entrepreneurs, this is square one: flying solo. The path of the sole proprietor is by far the most straightforward way to start a business. It's just you at the helm, calling all the shots. And you know what? It is literally that simple. Seriously, there are no registration forms to fill out, no government fees to pay. The second you decide to start selling something, whether it's a product or a service, boom. Legally, you've just created a sole proprietorship. Now, this is the most important part to wrap your head around. There is zero legal distinction between you and your business. They're one and the same. In the eyes of the law, you are the business. It's not some separate company or entity. And that, as you're about to see, has some pretty massive implications. Right, so here's the fundamental trade-off. The upside? It's all yours. You're the boss, you make every decision, and every single penny of profit goes right into your pocket. Fantastic. But the downside is the mirror image of that. All the risk is yours too. This is something called unlimited personal liability, and it means that if your business racks up debt it can't pay, creditors can come after your personal stuff, your car, your house, your life savings. Everything is on the line. Okay, but what if going it alone sounds, well, a little lonely? Or maybe your idea is just too big for one person. What happens when you decide to bring someone else along for the ride? Well, that's when you step into the world of partnerships. At its heart, a partnership is all about an agreement. It could be a super detailed contract drafted by lawyers, or it could just be a handshake deal. But it's always about two or more people deciding to join forces. And they have to have one crystal clear goal in mind: making a profit. That profit motive is non-negotiable. And there are some limits here. A partnership is really designed for a smaller team. You need at least 2 people to get started, obviously, and you can't have more than 20. It's really built for close collaboration, not for some huge, sprawling corporation. So, what actually makes a business arrangement a partnership in the eyes of the law? It turns out, the law looks for 3 essential ingredients, and these have to be there, whether you've written anything down on paper or not. Okay, first, every partner has to contribute something of value. Second, like we just said, the main reason for the business has to be to make a profit. So a nonprofit club or a charity can't be a partnership. And third, the whole venture has to be for the joint benefit of all the partners. And that's a big one because it means you all share in the profits, but you also share in the losses. And when we say contribution, don't just think about cash. Sure, money is one way to contribute, but it could also be your labor, your time and your hard work. It could be property, like a laptop, a truck, or even a building. Or it could be your skills, your expertise, your brilliant ideas. All of those are seen as legitimate contributions to a partnership. All right, let's put this all together. We're at the crossroads now. This is the moment where you have to make a choice. How do these two business structures really stack up against each other when we talk about the biggest, scariest factor of all, risk? Let's look at this side by side. Owners, one person versus a team of 2 to 20. Easy enough. Formation. A sole proprietorship just starts. A partnership is born from an agreement. But look at that third line: liability. That's the real game changer. For a sole proprietor, it's unlimited personal liability. For a partnership, it's unlimited joint liability, which is summed up by a scary-sounding legal term: in solidum. So what on earth does in solidum mean for you in the real world? It means this. If the partnership owes a ton of money, a creditor doesn't have to chase down all the partners to get a little bit from each. No, they can go after the one partner who has the deepest pockets and demand the entire debt from them. That one person is then left to try and get the money back from their other partners. This is, without a doubt, the single biggest risk of a partnership, and it's why trust is absolutely everything. So as you stand there at the very beginning of your journey, you can see the choice isn't really just about legal paperwork. It's about you. It's about your tolerance for risk, your need for control, and maybe most importantly, who you choose to build your dream with. And really, that brings us to the final and most human question of all. If you go it alone, you take on all the risk, but at least it's your risk to control. If you team up, you share the burden, but you're also trusting your partners with your finances, your reputation, your dream. So you have to ask yourself, who would you trust with all of that? Answering that question, that's your real first step.